What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Dragon Ball Legends video. Today, look towards the center of your screen. We actually got some really awesome news. Now, this comes after the most recent data mine, which just showed a bunch of sprites that weren't yet used for cards or characters or whatever you want to call them. But we've actually got rarities confirmed now, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright guys, so this is actually really exciting, and there's some really neat things that might come from this. The one thing that I'm not excited about, though, we'll talk about a little bit later on in the video, but right off the bat, going for the sparking characters, we're going to see a young Gohan, we're going to be seeing GINYU, and we're going to see Final Form Frieza. I'm very, very excited to see the stats that accompany these units specifically. I think this could be really, really cool, especially if GINYU Z power has something to do with buffing the entire GINYU force. Guys, I'm telling you, get your GINYUs leveled up and ready to be used, because this could be a very fun strategy moving forward. I'm very excited to see this one. Final Form Frieza, for obvious reasons. I mean, he's always been one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball, in like the entire Dragon Ball universe, and I think that he could be really, really cool. Definitely go very well on some sort of villains team or something like that. If his Z power, you know, sort of synergizes with them, that would be really, really cool. I don't know, obviously, what it is right now, but we know that he's coming. We know he's sparking, so he's going to have some awesome, you know, effect on the game. He's not going to be, you know, irrelevant like a lot of the hero characters are. And then Gohan, I mean, he's probably going to be some more support for the Saiyan archetype. We'll just have to see how he goes and how good he is. Moving down to the extremes, we've got Krillin, we've got Piccolo, we've got Vegeta, we've got Yamcha, we've got Frost, and we've got First Form Frieza. Now, there is a couple things that I have issues with here, but the main thing, I guess, is that the other forms of Frieza are heroes, which means that the synergies probably won't be there like I wanted them to be. You know, what I was talking about earlier was maybe some kind of synergy where, you know, one form of Frieza gets knocked out, its Z power maybe boosts another form of Frieza, and then, you know, you'd be able to use multiple forms of Frieza, ending on possibly Final Form Frieza, who would be super powered by the end because the other forms got knocked out. I would like that kind of interaction still, but it's a little bit less likely considering that First Form will not be able to go directly to Second and Third Form because Extreme wouldn't go to Hero to Sparking. There's just no way they do it like that. So I think it's probably pretty likely that we're going to be seeing some sort of Frieza and Frieza interactions, but maybe not the same way that I talked about in previous videos and, you know, on stream and all of that. By the way, though, I do think that they're probably going to be using the same character models here for example, for Vegeta and for Piccolo, because they had their sparking characters, obviously, and they probably weren't going to, and talking about Bandai Namco at this point, they probably weren't going to go ahead and not reuse the same character model for different characters. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, the sparking version of Piccolo and the extreme version of Piccolo are probably going to have the same or almost the same character model, like the 3D character model within the game, even though their card is going to be different and their power and Z powers and effects and everything are going to be different. Their synergies might be completely different, but the character model is probably going to be the same. A lot of work goes into creating them, so I definitely, you know, don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I think that that was pretty expected, especially, you know, if you compare it to Dokkan. They don't put out very many characters anyways on Dokkan. Like, there's a decent amount of them every couple weeks, I believe, you know, going by banners and everything. And sometimes they're reused, but not very often. That's just really the sprites. The animations are almost always very new and very fresh, and they look cool and stuff, but it's still not even like a small amount. It's not even a small amount of the work that's going to go into creating a high-def character model, you know, that all of these characters have to have. So I do think they're probably going to be reusing character models, and that's why we're seeing, you know, Extreme Piccolo, Extreme Vegeta, and all that. Yamcha and Krillin, I'm kind of excited about. Extreme characters in general can be used, even though, you know, as time goes on, obviously they're going to get phased out by sparking characters. But the fact that they're making extreme versions of Krillin and of Yamcha, I mean, maybe it'll be really cool and they'll be used pretty significantly in the meta, and that would be awesome. Frost, I don't know what to think about, and First Form Frieza, I've got no idea what to think about either. The heroes, I mean, I'm probably not going to care too much about them, honestly, but the sparking and extreme characters are really where this entire banner is going to shine. Again, credit to Renzi and to Lushin for putting this all together, because Renzi, as you know, as you've probably heard of him before if you were in the Dokkan community at any point, he is the legendary data miner that gets all the stuff before it actually happens, before it's actually talked about or anything. If it's in the app, he'll find it, he'll put it together, and you will know about it from the DBZ space Twitter account or Reddit account or whatever, you know, the Discords or anything like that. He does all kinds of stuff with data mining, and he's really good at it. So awesome stuff there. And Lushin put the whole image compilation together, so it's, you know, easily viewable and all that, which is very cool as well. Have to appreciate both of them for the work that they got done. And definitely join the /r/Dragon Ball Legends Discord server if you haven't already, because that's going to give you access to all of the leaks immediately before, you know, all the YouTubers get their grubby hands on it and everything, myself included, obviously. Because, you know, we like to dissect things and talk about things and, you know, think about meta impact and all that, and talk about maybe what you should be doing to get prepared for this sort of stuff. But obviously the credit needs to go to the people that actually found it and the people that are putting the work in to, you know, make this kind of thing happen. So credit to them. They're fantastic. Follow them, you know, and definitely join those Discords and join the subreddit if you haven't already, because that's where you're going to get most of your information on leaks and, you know, data mines and stuff that go along with Dragon Ball Legends. One more thing I wanted to talk about, this was also data mined, this post, which is probably going to be going up very, very soon in an update, because as it says, the most recent version is 1.7.0. I definitely think that that's going to be pretty soon. So they're going to be adding in Story Part 1, Book 7, which is awesome. Very excited about that. They have normal next to it, which makes me think there might be like an elite or you know, higher difficulty mode coming at some point, but maybe not. Maybe that's looking too far into it, but I don't know. So adjusted key and vanishing gauge restoration condition and arts card draw condition. Not exactly sure what it means by that, but we'll dissect that later on if, you know, it's something that needs to be dissected in a future video. During tap attacks, tap shots, and boost moves, the aforementioned gauges will not restore and new arts cards will not be drawn. I like this to a point. That said, vanishing gauge restoration, I mean, that's kind of important for PvP. So this is going to change PvP probably pretty significantly, make it so swapping and just like switching out characters on your team, it's probably going to be a very significant thing that happens a lot more often than maybe it did before, because you can't really rely on restoration if you're, you know, jumping into your attacks, jumping into your shots, or jumping into boost moves. I mean, you're not going to be able to restore your gauges. So most likely we're going to see the PvP, you know, general playstyle change at least a little bit, just shifting to sort of accommodate these changes. And then the best thing, guys, amazing, changed how PvP battle outcomes are determined after a network disconnection. Thank you. Hopefully, now most of us are looking into this without actually knowing for sure what it means. Hopefully this means that they're going to be awarding a win to the person that got disconnected on, and the person that disconnected is awarded a loss. That would be awesome. Hopefully it's not, you know, calculating it based on whoever has higher HP. That means that, you know, people will go for the first hit, and then once they get it, they'll immediately disconnect and get the win. If it's just straight up, the person that disconnected loses, the person that got disconnected on wins, I would be so excited, because that could not possibly be, you know, taken advantage of at all, you know, unless people, I guess people could queue up with, you know, alternate accounts or something, and then, you know, just forfeit every single match on their alternates, and then sort of artificially boost their points. But I don't think that that's going to be enough of an issue with 4.5 million players and growing very quickly for them to actually have to take that into account. Overall, it's a very positive change in my book, and I'm hoping that it's actually how we're thinking it's going to be, and, you know, the disconnected player is going to be awarded a loss, and the one that got disconnected on is going to be given a win. That would just be fantastic. And then they also did some quality of life changes, fixed some problems and bugs. App crashes when linking the account or transferring data with Game Center. We had some issues with that. Fantastic. They're fixing it. Dates did not change correctly in the game under certain circumstances. Experienced that the first day. Never actually got my day 2 bonus and all that good stuff. But that's nice. And then certain players cannot be matched in PvP properly. Hopefully that means matchmaking is fixed, and then fix other bugs. But yeah, guys, that's going to be about it for this one. Thank you so very much for watching. Really do appreciate it. This update looks fantastic. Tell me, what do you want the most out of this entire update? What's your most looked forward to, most anticipated thing that's coming in the next update? Is it the PvP thing where they're fixing battle outcomes after disconnections? Or is it some of the characters, maybe one in particular you want to put on your team or something like that? Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, have a fantastic, fantastic day. Sorry for the late upload, but I wanted to get this out as soon as physically possible. Definitely going to have another video out tomorrow. By the way, guys, we're going to jump into some PvP action, so don't worry about that. And until the next one, guys, peace.